Here's a little update about our conventional to regenerative farming journey. So back in 2009, maybe 2010, I first discussed or had a conversation with someone about carbon sequestration and how in the future farmers would be paid for their carbon. And the whole conversation just really opened my eyes up to what have we actually been doing within our farming businesses. So obviously, when it comes to carbon, we need to talk about soil health and how we can improve the soil health so that we can literally grow more plants, which is what we want. And as you can see from this picture, in 2022, we weren't growing very many plants at all. And this tended to be the main kind of situation we find ourselves in most years. Particularly if it's dry in the spring and it carries on being dry, we will literally burn up to a complete crisp and have no grass around at all, meaning that we have to supplementary feed everything. And so when I started to put the dots together and I was thinking about carbon sequestration, I was thinking about our soil health, I was thinking about the fact that we aren't holding enough water in our soil to make sure that we can grow enough plants during the year, it kind of was making me think, why are we farming the way we've been farming, particularly when it comes to fertilizer use? So we have now been fertilizer free for the last 4 years. And it's been a really interesting journey. And it has taken a while to wean the land off of the fertilizer. And one of the main things which we've started doing before we took the fertilizer out was we started to plant herbal leys and to plant other things that may help our soil health. And the beauty about herbal leys are that they have deeper roots. So deeper roots can get down to more nutrition and water and things like that. So it's been a really interesting to start incorporating more herbal leys into our fields. And we have taken the most out of the GS4 payments as well and been paid for those. And so as we start to learn about our soil and how we can improve our soil health, it's been a really fascinating journey. And we've tried to grow different crops. So we've incorporated kale and stubble turnips and some rape to try and break up the cycle. So what we were finding is that our permanent pasture had been there for so long that direct drilling into that with herbal ley just wasn't going to happen. So we've had to do something in between. And what we've done is we've been planting kale and then we outwinter on those fields, and that means the cattle then trash the fields for us. So they are basically bringing the soil up, they are trashing any plants into the ground, and they're obviously eating and peeing and pooing as well, which is all great for creating a good soil to put the seeds into, the GS4 seeds into. And so it's been interesting to watch how our soil has responded to herbal leys, because in a lot of our fields we have a lot of weed come up. So we are only using min-till. So we do not use a plough here at all anymore, mainly because we don't have a lot of soil, but also because it brings up the stones, and it was also, we thought, bringing up the weeds. However, even the min-till practices that we've used has been increasing the amount of weed burden in some of our fields, not all of them. And so this year we started to look at why that might be. And what we've discovered is the microbiology in the soil is off balance. So there should be a good balance between bacteria and fungi in a healthy soil. What we've got is, because we overstocked with sheep a long time ago, often known as sheep sickness, when we used to run 500 breeding ewes and then we'd have about 1,500 sheep running around when I was young and stupid back in 2009, 2010, that kind of year. We ultimately changed the balance in the soil, and that as well was affected by fertilizer use throughout, the last 60 years or whenever they started using fertilizer here. So we've really upset that side of it. So now this year we're looking at how we can incorporate more fungi back into the soil. And the hope is that then when we start reseeding, we will have less of the weeds. So the particular weeds we're talking about are thistles that seem to just pop up, and they are everywhere. And so it's been a real journey of trial and error and giving it a go, because we often don't know what the response is going to be. We still have quite a lot of permanent pasture. One field that I'm looking at right now is so unproductive, it's unreal. It literally doesn't grow hardly anything. But really, the focus here is being that throughout my lifetime, if we could triple the production happening on our farm because we're looking after the soil health, that would be amazing for our farming future, because we could have the same amount of land, but creating triple the amount of food. And that is going to also help with food security. And I think this is a key for all farmers right now, that if we can just change our focus from how we're going to pay the bills to, okay, we've got to do something different, to what do we need to do, starting from the soil up, basically, it really puts us in good steadfast for the future and producing more with the same amount of land, essentially. So if you have any questions, then just pop a comment underneath. Thanks for listening.